Good morning and thank you for joining me at RC Truth Media. We will be talking about the grand solar minimum. I'm going to be keeping you updated during these next few years as we no doubt are going to intensify in weather anomalies, cooling, historic flooding, and all the weather changes and events that we are going to be seeing. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and hit that bell so you can be updated on my most recent videos. Starting out, what I want to show you, everybody's heard what happened in China with the typhoon, I am assuming, and let's take a look. This is from BBC.UK. What happened with China. Typhoon Maria has caused huge destruction in eastern China. The strong winds broke fishing boats, uprooted trees, and damaged roads. You can see the destruction. 600,000 people have been evacuated, or more. More than 30,000 fish farming cages in Sandu Town have been gone, messed up. There's definitely, we knew some destruction was going to happen in China, and it has. Today is Thursday, and it should be a weakening today and ending its disasters today. We'll keep you updated if anything else happens. Now, last year, the US $1 billion weather and climate disasters. It was a historic year, definitely. This comes from NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It's talking about the events that happened last year. As we could see and we know from the news, and those of you who were there have seen what the devastation that was caused. This is no doubt due to the grand solar minimum. We had record-breaking wildfires, record-breaking natural disasters, and speaking of these type of events, look what's been going on during the past 30 years or so. It's been increasing, okay, and this is coming from municheconomist.com. This is where this chart comes from, and in 2016 it was pretty bad as well. There was meteorological storms, hydrological floods, landslides and avalanches, climatological extreme temperatures, droughts and forest fires in 16. And then we had in 17, which was even worse. 2017 arguably has more events than 2011, given that our analysis traditionally counts all US $1 billion wildfires. Yes, so in 2017 the US experienced several wildfires episodes that each exceeded $1 billion in losses. In Central and Southern California, there was the Atlas and Thomas fire, the Tubbs. The only other year again since 1980 in which the US experienced multiple separate billion-dollar wildfires was 2003. And this was the Cedar and Old fires also in California. Also, temperatures. Now this is coming from WentworthReport.com, and he's saying Earth is in the greatest 2-year cooling event in a century shock. This is by James Dillingpole. Says our planet has just experienced the most extreme 2-year cooling event in a century, in more than 100 years. But where have you seen this reported anywhere in the mainstream media? That's right, the mainstream media is bought and paid for by none other than the one world order, the deep state, the powers that were, whatever you like to call them. They are bought and paid for, and they do have an agenda, and that is to take your money and to control your mind. Alright, now right here it says from the beginning of 2016 to now is one of the biggest drops in global temperatures ever recorded by instruments, over 0.6 degrees Celsius. To put that in context, the entire modern global warming, which extends back to maybe 1900, is thought to be about 0.8 to 1 degrees. In the news, crickets. You don't hear anything. Chirp, chirp. Did anyone predict this? Yes. Solar theory made the predictions of a downturn in 2017, first in 2014, and then again in 2016. Global temperatures will come off the current plateau in a sustained and significant cooling. Beginning in 2017, or maybe as late as 2021. The cooling will be about 0.3 degrees Celsius in the 2020s, taking the planet back to the global temperature that prevailed in the 1980s. This was signaled, though not caused, by a fall in underlying solar radiation starting in 2004, one of the three largest falls since 1610 when records started. There is a delay of one sunspot cycle, currently 13 years. The notch delay solar theory is correct. The temperatures will now trend downward for the next decade. If there is no downtrend starting around 2017 to 20, then it is wrong. It's very important to note that last part right there. We are going to find out in 2020 who's right and who's wrong. We definitely have been seeing an increase in all kinds of events on the earth, weather events, anomalies, and etc. So we have a couple more years, and all this talk is coming down to something. We are here to prepare, because I believe I'm right, just like all of you who have done their studying and homework believe they're right as well. Okay, so on to the next news from Watchers.com. Speaking of events, mudslides destroys 300 homes, claims at least 10 lives in Afghanistan. A large mudslide triggered by melting snow destroyed nearly 300 homes in northeastern Afghanistan on Wednesday night, July 11th, 2018, killing at least 10 people. The area is known for its snow-capped peaks. The slide took place after a mountain lake in Panjshir overflowed, sending water and mud cascading over Pegshir village in Kinj district. Omar Manhadi, spokesman for the Disaster Management Ministry, told AFP. Mohammadi said villagers were using shovels and other tools, desperately searching for survivors before rescue teams arrived. We have developed everything at hand to help the people, Mohammadi said. This is just so far, at least, so the death toll may rise. Somebody shouted flood, and I ran with my family to higher ground, one of the residents told AFP, adding that people started firing weapons into the air to warn others. He said villagers have been worried about the possibility of landslides after several days of increasingly warm weather. Alright, so yes, a lot of areas on the earth are seeing droughts, and we do know this is increasing in the ground solar minimums. Monsoons and hurricanes have been record-breaking as well. Monsoon season is in full effect. Massive haboob recorded. Hurricane-force wind gusts, hail, and record rain in the southwest U.S. Winds in and around Phoenix gusted over 70 miles per hour on Monday, July 9th, downing power, lives, and bringing traffic to a standstill while heavy rain flooded streets. More than 94,000 customers were left without power on July 9th. Monday's rains in Phoenix officially ended its streak of 108 days without rain, recorded at Sky Harbor Airport, where the city's official records are tallied. The last rain there was officially recorded on March 11th. This tied for the sixth longest dry streak in Phoenix, tying the one recorded in 1904. Definitely important to note, this whole West Coast, California, Arizona, Nevada has definitely been going through. And this article comes from SOT.net. I've been reporting on this for the last couple weeks as well, detailing about how these high record temperatures are fudged. African weather station near airport, how many more of these all-time record highs are bogus? Look, it says from Anything Hot Goes department and the Washington Post Capitol Weather Gang comes this pronouncement of an all-time high temperature record that may be little more than wishful thinking, much like the recent all-time high in Scotland that turned out to be polluted by an idling vehicle producing hot exhaust near the temperature sensor. And I'll put a link below so you can go ahead and watch this video as well. There's a lot of information here on the fudged numbers, pretty much too much for me to read to you during this video, but as you can see, there's a lot of information here, and I think it is pretty interesting if you want to check that out. Another one, I want to show you this real quick. Researchers find a strong link between air pollution and diabetes. Yes, there is a lot of air pollution. I've noted that they're spraying these toxins all over our world. This is a global event that's going on. Now, from SOT.net, they say air pollution caused 1 in 7 new cases of diabetes in 2016, according to a U.S. study, which found even low levels raised the chances of developing the chronic disease. Diabetes has primarily been associated with lifestyle factors like diet and sedentary lifestyle, but research by the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis said pollution also plays a major role. No doubt pollution plays a major role, especially when they're spraying all kinds of toxins in the mix as well. Pollution is thought to reduce the body's insulin production, prevent the body from converting blood glucose into energy that the body needs to maintain health, according to the research. Yes, this is not good, especially with more and more airplanes and more pollution, more spraying of these chemicals. And, the more intelligent we get, you think we'd also find ways to fix this. And I've found out, based on a lot of research that I've done myself, that they do have the science, they do have the technology to clean up our air. Within a couple of weeks, they could do it, but they don't. Why? Because of money and power, and they want to keep you on that narrative. They want to keep you thinking the same thoughts that they have a lot of the dumbed down world believing. Thanks a lot for coming and checking out the channel. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have a couple bucks to donate, I would definitely appreciate it. It does take some time, and a lot of time actually, to make these videos. I have to donate about 5 to 6 hours of my day every day for a couple videos. It would be nice to get just a little bit of extra money to keep me going. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.